Yo, what's going on, Chenderson30? I read a comment that you left on Now I Understand, one of Willie Pete's videos over there on Gen X. You made a comment referencing my video about white-collar women marrying blue-collar men. Can it happen? And I think you missed where I'm coming from, because we actually agree. You know, you're saying that it can't work because she's making more money, okay? So there's going to be issues. And I agree. Don't get me wrong. Anytime you have women making more money than men, it doesn't even matter at this point what that man is doing, okay? He could be a 90K brother and she's making 120K, so it's the same thing as if, you know, he's making 20K and she's making 50K. The fact that remains that she's making more, there's going to be potential problems. Even when things are good, as you know, life will happen and there's going to be problems and fights. And what do men and women do? When they're upset, they try to make each other hurt. They may say things that they don't mean. They want to get under your skin. They want to get you back, and they will say stuff. And, you know, women will run to the whole idea that they make more money than a man. Okay? And just imagine how upsetting that will make you if you still are making decent money. You know, how upsetting would that be if you're making 90K holding it down, and your wife is making 120K, and you get into a fight and she's trying to belittle you as if, you know, you can't hold it down if her ass got pregnant, okay? Or if she got fired from her job, as if you would be living on the street and you would be homeless. That will make you highly upset. You know I would overreact. I remember as a kid, you know, my ears were always open, and you know, a couple of my uncles got into some, you know, fights with their wives over shit like that. You know, she popped off and he got upset and there's issues. All of a sudden Uncle Tunde's staying with us for a couple of days and I'm eavesdropping. You know how kids do. I'm eavesdropping and I'm like, oh, okay, that was going on. And as I get older and I look back at my childhood, I'm like, you know, Auntie never should have popped off like that. So we're agreeing. Yeah, anytime you have women making more, there's always going to be that possible issue. I know women will say not always. Yeah, things may be good, but you know, you've been in a relationship and you want to piss somebody off, that shit will happen. What are you going to do? I'm the pants here. I'm making more money, right? And just imagine if you have your own shit going on. So we agree there, man. We're not in disagreements. But I think where you miss me is you miss me because you didn't understand my point about blue collar and white collar. I'm trying to say that you can throw out that classification, okay, and actually look at how much somebody is making. I don't personally buy into the whole idea that white collar always makes more money than blue collar. On average, would a white collar job make more than blue collar? Probably, but it's still an average. And when you're looking at somebody on an individual level, they're going to be above average, at average, or below. Okay, and if you think about it, the whole idea of white collar and blue collar, it kind of just describes the nature of what you do. White collar, you're working in an office, you may be dealing with people behind a computer, filing, answering phones, dealing with clientele, but usually you're working in an environment that is not so labor intensive, and blue collar would more so be on the opposite end. Okay, now in our society, we have placed this stereotype that white collar always makes more than blue collar, but like I said, it's just a stereotype and a generalization that I personally look past. No one's going to come through and act like they trump somebody else because the nature of their job is more white collar. Okay, and somebody else's job is more blue collar. I'm going to sit back and be like, well, you know, that's all fine and dandy, but you know, we really aren't going to know who's making more until we bust out the W-2s. Okay, coming from Southern Cali, somebody can have a white collar job, you know, working full time, and to be real with you, they could be making anywhere, and I'm not even joking, 30K to maybe 120K. Anything over than that, you're probably a business owner, right? But that's the range. So just imagine if somebody says, oh, a chick says I'm white collar. Okay, you could be making $30K, right? Barely at full time, they're trying to let you go. Or you could be making $120K. That's how I look at it, right? Same thing with blue collar. I've already talked about how, yeah, you have blue collar people on the lower end, but there's blue collar people, close to that, 100K mark as well. They're working 7 days a week, 10-hour days. They're getting overtime. They're doing stuff on the side. Okay, I talked about how you have those hood mechanics that, they'll fix your car on the side. I know a couple of them. If money's tight and you can't afford to go to, auto mechanic, go get the part, go to his, he'll come to your driveway or you pull up in his driveway and he'll fix it for $100 and he'll put the money straight in his pocket. So I know cats that, got their 9 to 5 or, 8 to 7, working 6-7 days a week, and they do shit on the side. Okay, I knew one cat that was a mechanic, but just off the side hustling alone was making an extra $500 a week because he was one of those hood mechanics, right? Hooking people up, and he could put on tires because he had one of those machines that I don't know what they call them, but that help you mount the tires to the rim. So he was doing everything, a hood mechanic. So on top of what he was making an additional $24K a year, even though it was undocumented. But, that was cash in his pocket. And this is blue collar. So like I said, I'm beyond just the label of white collar and blue collar. How much do you actually make? Okay, I'm not going to be one of those people where you have women who want to act like they're doing so well because they have a white collar job. I can care less if you wear a business suit to work every day, because I know the range of money that you could possibly be making. And I know how much a dude in a greasy jumpsuit with, black hands with dirty boots on, I know what he could be potentially making as well. Okay, so I'm beyond that. And even if you had two white-collar people, let's keep it real. Okay, you could have the same job, work for two different companies, or maybe your job got bought out and you're making less money, or she got a promotion, and this, that, and the third. You could be white-collar. What I'm trying to say is you could still be white-collar and a woman is making more money. Like I said, as a kid, when my uncles used to get into arguments with their wives, they were both white collar. Wife forgot that it was the husband that was holding it down. Okay, she went to school while he was working, and all of a sudden, she's making more money, and she popped off. Dude got upset. People tend to forget that. So, like I said, we agree at the end of the day, anytime a woman's making more money, there's possible potential for trouble. What I'm trying to say is, a woman could be making more money and you could be white collar as well. So at the end of the day, we have to look past the stupid stereotypes and issues of prestige when we're talking about white collar and blue collar, and just look at how much somebody is making. Fuck the average. I'm dealing with you on a personal, one-on-one level. So you're either above average, you're at average, or you're below. That's how I look at it. So that's where I'm coming from. So hopefully you guys are able to understand me. And like I said, once you start to look at just how much somebody makes, it doesn't matter if they're blue collar or white collar. That's why I said, I think white collar women can marry blue collar men and have decent relationships, because at the end of the day, it's all about the dollar amount. Okay, so I'm still falling in line with my beliefs that relationships won't work if women are making more money than the men. Okay, so hopefully you're able to follow me and connect the dots. Everybody else, same thing as well. Y'all take it easy. God bless.